Welcome back to the Nightly Show on Cork Live TV. I'm here with a very special guest, a Cork drag queen, Candy Warhol.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming and making me feel very short.
I know. They come down here. How are you?
I've had to put on heels so that I wasn't
I feel
like
bad.
this.
I always do this to people, but it's, you kind of have to drag.
So you are fresh from the Nua Festival, the
Yes.
first Nua Festival,
Yes.
organised, run, everything by you.
Yes. No, it went really, really well. Just exhausted, but we're well rested.
Yeah. You look
But it
fresh
was
though.
really good. Thank you. Just put on a tiny bit of concealer. Little gloss.
That's your daytime look, is it?
Yeah. But no, it went really, really well. As you know, you were there
Yes,
as well.
yes, had a great day.
It was fantastic. It was just brilliant to see so many different creatives around Cork and Limerick and Dublin come together just to do something different, and everyone had such a lovely time. It was great to showcase new talent, network, and then the audience loved it as well.
They loved it. They were so involved.
Yeah. We had a 4-day art exhibition and then a fashion show and awards and then little events on in between. It was just lovely.
Now, I was working on the fashion show with you. I was dressing the models, and I must say, it's the most out there collections I have ever dressed models in my whole life.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. We had a few collections, that were, wedding and stuff like that, but generally we wanted to reach out to avant-garde designers, new designers. We had a lot of students from Limerick College that just graduated, and they just need a platform to show something different. I think when people go to fashion shows, generally they want, they think they're going to just see nothing but high street. But sure, new designers out there all over Ireland, they needed a platform to do that, and I think it went really, really well.
And you went to college in Limerick yourself.
I did.
It was nice to see some of the students you worked with
Yeah,
coming back.
I thought that was lovely. Do you know what? I graduated a few years ago along with Erica Marie, who was the head of makeup. We sent them an email, and they contacted all the students on our behalf. So it was lovely to have that support.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
half the show was.
Yes, it was.
Like, let's do a new show in Cork. I had to say it, but you know what? It was open to everyone around Ireland, and that's what I'd love next year as well.
I know you organised it.
Yes.
You emceed it.
Yes.
And you had your own collection in it. Talk about
Sounds
taking
like
on
I
a challenge.
I was actually like
Not at all.
backstage in my makeup going, what have I done? Oh my God, shaking. So at least it went well. But yeah, I've always wanted to do a collection, just something different, because I had all these ideas brewing, and I'm not the best seamstress or anything like that, but I have the design, so I wanted to put something together.
Yeah.
And hopefully go on to design more things for the performers and singers and for shoots.
And we actually have a piece from your collection here.
Which I'm really excited about. Yeah.
I remember seeing this on the model on the day of the show, and it's just absolutely loved it. It's so tribal, isn't it?
Oh, thank you. Do you know what? Yeah, the collection's called Kailuk, which in English means witch. And when I looked up the meaning of witch, the word actually comes from an ancient witch from Cork and Kerry, who controlled all like the lakes and the mountains and the woods. So I wanted to do something that represented
Inspired by that. Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of the pieces have like faux fur.
Faux fur, I love it. Yeah, faux fur.
Lots of feathers. I just wanted that kind of woods kind of effect.
Yeah, it looks great on her. Yes, absolutely. It does look very tribal. I absolutely love it, especially now coming into the winter.
Into the winter, just wear
faux
this
furs.
to do the shopping in Tesco, wheeling down in our faux fur feathers.
I love the faux fur, actually.
I keep saying that, messages from comments from Peter underneath this.
Now, you've been dressing in drag for a good few years now, okay?
7 years last week.
7 years last week, anniversary.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
What I often wonder is how do you discover that you want to become a drag queen?
You know what? It was introduced really early to my life because my granduncle was a drag queen. My granduncle, Danny LaRue, was actually one of the most famous drag queens in the world. So he traveled the world constantly. He had like TV shows and films and released music, had his own nightclub and like constant sellout tours. So when I was about 9 or 10, my dad actually brought me to see his Irish tour. And I sat down and I was like, what is this? So it must have been in the blood. The glitter was in the blood. But then when growing up, I just loved things like The Wizard of Oz, Disney, and like dressing up. And then I was obsessed with little drag films like Tu Wong Fu and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. So there was always a fascination there, but it was with the larger-than-life characters and the makeup and the hair.
Creativity and everything.
Creativity was it. Because I was always drawing, always wanted to make clothes or do the styling.
Yeah.
So I think it just all slowly came together. And then when I was in Limerick College, I started creating these little characters that were recreations of Andy Warhol films.
Okay.
So he used to have these films and people would just stare at the camera and he'd like film different peoples of all walks of life. So I had a GA player, had a brother and sister, had like a nightmare character, and then I did a doll because I was obsessed with Barbies as a kid. So I said, wouldn't it be so fun to dress up as a
Not
Barbie?
Ken's Barbies.
Not Ken's, the Barbies, 'cause they were more creative. So
You could dress Barbie up, but you can't dress Ken
Barbie
up.
up. And
No.
that's what I always loved as a kid. People were like, why are you playing with Barbies? And again, it was dressing them
yeah,
up. So
yeah,
it really
of course.
started at
Yeah.
like 3.
Yeah.
So I did this video of a kind of Barbie doll kind of coming to life, and that's where it kind of started, because I used that character then when I was asked to host a club night in Limerick.
There you go. Now, I imagine that it's not stressful to you now, but when you first started, the getting
Always
ready,
stressful.
the getting ready
Yes,
part
that is,
would have
yeah.
been, I mean, it's time. I mean, I know as a woman, like an hour for me, if I want to do the whole shebang to get ready to go out, and I'm like, oh my God, this is an hour of my time, I'll never get back.
Yeah.
You must have 5, 6, 7 times as much of that
Yeah,
time.
it's like 3 to 5 hours to get ready, which includes like the makeup. You might be up all night the night before sewing an outfit, the hair, then you will have to learn your lyrics to a song or like prepare for the show. So
yeah.
I think a lot of the time people are like, oh, that must be really easy when you just show up and perform a
No,
song.
no.
You're like, there's so much that goes into it. And like literally before the curtain goes up, you might be running, like trying to get your heel on, your lipstick on, like it can be really manic.
Yeah.
So those stressful things aren't too enjoyable, especially when you're not in the mood or you've done like a few gigs in a row.
And you're tired,
Yeah, so things like Pride, where there might be 4 or 5 gigs in a week.
Yeah.
By the end of it, you're like, I never wanted to do drag again. Leave a week off. And then it's just it is really addictive.
And you can't cut corners,
No,
because when
can't.
you're as flamboyant in one area, like your eyelashes, everything else has
Everything
to
has
match
to
up.
be.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, when they're speaking to you, are like, they're scanning you to find a
Sussing
flaw.
you out.
Especially because people are so obsessed now with Instagram and the face tuning.
Yeah.
People will come up and go like, oh, that's a wig, right? And you're like, yes,
Of
I'm
course
not a
it's-
walking face tune. I can't have everything perfect, but you aim to have that.
And
yeah.
especially when you're a creative type, you have an eye for detail that other people don't see.
Yeah.
So, and then you take your selfie and you see something wrong, you're like, I'm going to
You're
fix
like,
that an hour later.
yeah. I think that's especially like because I'm into art, so I kind of look at myself like I'm doing a painting. Because obviously I know that I don't look like a woman. I want to look like a cartoon. So, but it's just getting all those details right. And I think every drag queen has a different area. Might be performance or the outfit or the makeup.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it all, so I just try to get everything as perfect.
So you don't really have a favourite part of it all?
I love interacting with people. I love talking to people. I love being on stage. But just the last few years, I've just really fell in love with the makeup and the creating the costumes as well. So
because you're an MUA as well, you teach makeup as well.
yeah, I teach like drag makeup and stage makeup, and I'm kind of getting into other sides of it as well.
You have your hands dipped in many
You kind of do, and I think it's
areas,
brilliant because you never know when you're going to go to an event and the hairstylist or the makeup artist or the camera person hasn't shown up. So
yes,
you can go, I can be my
I can
own
do
boss,
that,
I can manage myself, and over the years, the amount of things that problems that you might face where you learn something, and it's all an experience like any other job.
So you can find a lot of inspiration online now that you couldn't have years ago. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
Oh yeah, a lot. I think a lot of younger drag queens now, I just call them like drag artists or whatever, because they just want to paint their face and take a picture and go on Instagram. So I kind of see that more as like an MUA rather than a proper drag queen.
So originally drag queens would have always performed as well.
Performed on stage as well, because sure, 10 years ago there was no social media.
No Instagram.
When I first started my makeup, it didn't look as nice now because there was no YouTube tutorials. That all happened almost just about a year or two later. So when I was contouring for the first time or trying to change my face, it was really difficult, but it was also fascinating because I was like, look what I can do.
Natasha is wearing a very, very Scottish themed dress here, isn't she?
She is. I was looking at, like I said earlier, different witches from around the world as the inspiration, and I saw pagan witches from Scotland. And I think there's something beautiful, but kind of dark about tartan. And then there's hints of McQueen and Vivienne Westwood as well, because I think they're quite inspired by spooky things too. And then the colour scheme was all purples, greens and blacks, so kind of wintry, spooky again.
Because I think Irish girls think of tartan like their school uniform, like it's nice to go back to the basics of where it actually came from, Well,
at least it's draped differently, and at least your skirt isn't down your ankle.
Where is your collection available?
So it's available to rent for performers and for shoots because they're all one-off pieces, but I'm happy to make replicas, or I'm going to be making a lot of things like the corsets and the leotards for performers. So people just PM me on Instagram, Candy Warhol Queen, and the same on Facebook. So I'd love to see it at festivals, and for photo shoots and music videos, things like that. I made them for myself for stage, so I'm happy for other performers to
Use
wear
them
them
on stage. One of the tips you gave me earlier was wearing a corset. You're actually wearing two tonight.
I'm wearing two because I'm an egomaniac and want to look really skinny. But I'm wearing a corset under this just to really like tighten it in, and then I have this corset on over it, which is more the decoration kind of piece. But I can breathe after this. It's fine.
Best makeup for, you know, the way you get a palette anywhere and the colour looks nothing like it. What's the best makeup for that?
Ooh,
because yours are just literally bang on, like yellow and greens.
Wet your brush. You know, maybe that like MAC spray, prep and prime, or just like a little bit of water and like wet the shadow or the brush, and it'll come out stronger.
That's right. And the eyebrows are perfect.
Thank
They're
you.
more perfect than mine. But you're going over your own eyebrow or hiding your own eyebrow. So
yeah. It took a lot of years to like and practice. But I'd rather hide them than shave them off, which a lot of other queens do. Still like to look like a boy out of this. But yeah, that is glue and wax, and then another glue, and then sealer, and then powder and foundation.
Wow, yeah.
So it does take a lot of practice.
It's like building.
It is. And there's certain steps like the contouring and the shading and all that type of stuff that it's just 1, 2, 3 I can do with my eyes closed now, and then you can get to the fun bit.
So contouring is your friend?
Yes. But especially like you said, oh man.
Are you? Really?
And you have to change certain things. And I think it looks brilliant on stage as well, you know, the highlighting now as well.
Yeah. And heels?
Yes.
6 foot what in the heels?
I'm 6'2" as a boy, and then I'm 6, like, you give me a high five?
Yes.
6'6", 6'7", what am I over
wow.
you? Yeah.
I'm officially a midget.
You are. And then you put on this just to really
just to add
people.
it, and the big wig and the whole shebang.
But again, on stage, you're looking up at someone, I just think it looks fab.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Well, Candy, we're going to leave it at that.
Thank
okay.
you so much.
No doubt we'll be seeing each other at the next NUA festival.
We'll see each other at the bar.
Need a glass of wine after this.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, and that's all from this interview. Don't forget to enter our competition. You have to like,
love,
and share.